Hi, my name's Charlie Turnbull. I am a cheese expert. I'm a director of the Academy of Cheese. I'm leading the charge with some colleagues into cheese education in the UK to make sure more people know about the diversity, the excellence, the cheese making skills, really what makes cheese really, really special at the top end. The concept behind the night is well, there's a lot of parallels between cheese and whiskey in terms of the way that you put your heart and soul into it and you grade it and you really into building a flavour. Cheese is it's a natural bedfellow of whiskey. It's got that same mood, you take your time over it, you want to really savour it. It's not a thing of pace, it's a thing of consideration. And what we wanted to prove today, and which we did beautifully, I was really pleased, is that they are good bedfellow. If you choose the cheese right and choose the whiskey right, it's a wonderful combination.
My name is Douglas Blyde and I am predominantly a drinks communicator, drinks writer, and I'm here tonight in the Victorian Bath House to present an event to introduce Mythical Beast's core range to a discerning community of VIP whiskey lovers. We've met whiskies and cheeses at their peak tonight and not chilled the cheese, not cooled the whiskey with ice. The consideration of meeting products at their absolute zenith, where care has been taken to raise both cheese and whiskey, has really paid off. And each producer of cheese, each producer in terms of the distillery, has a real story and a care behind their products. So this is a meeting of artisans tonight. Mythical Beasts has gained the trust of established, much loved producers and selected casks which have real meaning, depth of flavour and consistency, and they've bottled those in beautiful bottles, each of them numbered with beautifully considered illustrations. Mythical Beasts incorporates 6 core products, plenty more in the pipeline of course. They range from younger distilleries, particularly on Islay with a very smoky payload of flavours, to really established older distilleries, older expressions with sumptuous flavours to the core. My favourite tonight was actually the youngest distillery, Kilchoman, and their 15-year-old expression. Tonight we drank bottle number 1. How generous of the team to open that bottle for us. And that worked so well with young Tom Calver's cheddar cheese. But overall it's been a real deep dive into classy, established producers and their fulsome ranges.
So I'm Robin Goldsmith. I'm a drinks journalist covering beers, wine, spirits, no and low alcohol, all sorts of things. I'm also a judge for Great Taste Awards and a few other competitions. Well, it's great to come to an event like this because often, of course, people talk about wine and cheese, beer and cheese, a bit more about that now, but very few people talk about any kind of matching of spirits and food. And whiskey and cheese kind of sounds as if, yeah, that could be quite interesting. So it's great to actually come to an event like this. And yeah, it was really good. I mean, the cheeses were absolutely fantastic quality. The whiskies were wonderful quality as well. And it's good to see how the two combined. There were certainly some pairings that worked for me better than others. None of them were bad pairings, they all worked, but some really stood out. So there was for example, there's a really strong whiskey and an époisse. Both the cheese and the whiskey were really powerful, but they worked together extremely well. And there was a wonderful blue cheese, Cashel Blue, and the Feta Cairn whiskey was just spectacular. And it was a bit like having a leading player in a music performance and a supporting orchestra, and you had both parts that you could enjoy, and they both went together really well, really harmoniously, and they were just lovely together. The whiskey, you had all the great notes of the whiskey, and you had the cheese just letting the whiskey shine, but also having its delicious qualities as well. So that was a real standout for me.
I had an absolutely wonderful time. The cheese and whiskey matching was very thoughtful. I thought it worked brilliantly well, and I thought it was hosted by two consummate experts. I think events like this work fantastically, and it's a great way for people who don't necessarily know whiskey particularly well to get involved and understand flavours and textures and so on.
It's been a great event. I think it's always interesting to try new whiskies and also to pair them with cheese. It's not the first time I've done it, but the second time, but not in such a maybe elaborate landscape as today. Some really interesting whiskies to pair with the cheeses. I think my favourite was the 13-year-old Tomor. I think that was amazing. So good that I straight away bought a bottle while I was tasting it. No, there's very interesting notes, very smooth, even though the high alcohol percentage. Personally, I didn't feel it needed a lot of water. I'm a big fan of sherry cask or PS cask, so really that raisin flavour coming through quite strongly really resonated with the flavour profile I like from whiskey.
Very, very interesting. Normally with the whiskey, I would pair with rich foods like plums, steak, meat, all this kind of thing. Not cheese. That I would leave to porks and things like that. However, I do believe that any food can be matched with anything. It's just a matter of finding the matches, and the matches tonight are mind-blowing. I mean, literally mind-blowing. Because you're changing, you have two flavors like this, and it's incredible. It's just like, it's controlling the explosion in a way that is unique.